I just hear Brendan telling me SoFi exiting the crypto game. That's not a good move, I don't think, but we'll wait to see what's going on. All right, welcome to the recap show here, everybody. Big time earnings coming through today. You can see on the board there. Thank you for joining me as traders stay late. It's 4:01, so hopefully you're still here with me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Let's go. We do this every single day. It's my favorite show, but I mean, I like trading, but I like being with the people here as well. Okay, GameStop coming out soon. AI, C3 AI. We're looking for that right now. But look at oil. Oil go boom to the downside today. Again, energy stocks trade lower as a group. Brent fell by 4%. You can see USO down here over 4.2%. And it looks like it still wants to even go lower, man. Lowest levels since June right now. Dropping back in below or into these June levels for USO, but Brent lowest levels dropping below $75 right now. We did have US gasoline stocks moving downside as well. You can see UNG, man, what a disaster this ETF has been. I mean, if you just go back over to December of 22, you know, you're $20 here. Now you're down to $5. We did have a 1 million barrel rise, or surpassing 5.4 million barrel rise there for gasoline. So again, it looks like we don't have too much worry about supply. And when supply is abundance, prices go down. So UNG there. And I'm actually glad that I talked to Sharif about this one, because I remember when he was long over 6 on this, got out, now down to 5. Watch out for this one. But it's been a pretty fun day trading the markets anyways. My eyes are still going, guys. If we get any, well, I hope they're still going, but they're going on the market right now. We're waiting for GME. It's going to come up here. This segment and the show, Trader TV Live, sponsored by Benzinga for all your news needs. Get the Benzinga Pro, still 75% off, I believe. So go check that out. Check our description below. There should be some sort of a code in there right now. Okay, I don't see anything on Benzinga right now for GameStop or for AI or for anything at that matter. So let's just go over and see what's flying through with GME. Here's the daily, here's the 1 minute. If we start to see this thing move, then we know it's out. But GameStop's it's coiling up for something. I think this is going to be a big move. I mean, just over the last little while here, let's see if we can zoom. See now, so I'm zooming one way, and then I zoom the other way, and it does this. Gets it even worse. So, all right, I'm gonna have to flip back over. Let's go to a 60-minute chart quickly. A lot of coiling up in between 17, which was a nice move, down to $14. So you have a $3 area there, which is a big percentage, but it looks like it hasn't made up its mind yet. I'm excited to see what happens for GameStop. Still not out yet. The other name, C3 AI. The reason why I like this name again, I like this for the long. I think it might be worth a shot. Only just a shot. Like, don't. This is just a play on earnings, and that is, of course, the short float up here, 34.7% short float on C3 AI right here, 34 and change. So again, kind of just bouncing off 28. Let's see where we go. Now, I could anchor a VWAP to see where we're going, but again, watch out for a 23-24 bottom there on C3 AI. Man, as Brian Shannon absolutely nailed some of these calls on an anchored VWAP. I'll do better. I'll get better at that and start anchoring some of that before the show to give you some levels of interest. So what was up today? All right, well, let's go over this one. Utilities. Look at this scream higher. Again, why would utilities go up? Well, as sort of rates are kind of going back up as well, but as rates fell back down, they made utilities a little more exciting because of that dividend. A lot of utility companies will repay out their cash back to shareholders, which is why the stocks don't move too much. But again, the ETF, beautiful move back up to the upside. And if we actually look at this on a weekly chart, we did see this bottom came into play. I mean, wicked down to 55. That goes all the way back to 2020, not the 2020 bottoms, but the 200 period moving average back then down to 55. That's looking like a good little level there. My eye's still over there, man. Anything comes out. And I want to shout out to everybody that's here. If you're here right now, mad respect to you. Let's do a little quick roll call. Oh, what's up, Matthew? Are there any written materials we can study? This is not really the spot for this, Matthew. Can you please watch tomorrow morning about 8:30 to 9? And I promise you, man, just super chat 50 cents or 1 rupee or whatever, and we will, or 1 Mexican peso, I don't know, and we'll do this. So I can study the outline general rules and principles followed here. So we will, GME got smoked. Okay, people talking about GME right now. Let's go over without any further ado and see what's out. Okay. Got smoked. Come on, man. Haha, made you look. Didn't get smoked that much, guys. Nice move to the downside. Come on. Where's my 1 minute chart, GME? It's not loading. Let's go, GME. There it is. Okay, down to 14. That's not bad. We just talked about the range for GME was 14 to 17. Now trying to get back out. And the numbers are out. We've got breaking news right now. It's my party. I'll hit that breaking news stock earnings things if I want to. All right, there it is, Kate. Did you end that early, Ramin? Because I'll hit it again. You funny girl over there. GameStop right now looks like they go minus 1 cent. Sales 1.08 billion. Nice to see a B behind that number for sure. Versus 1.18. So it'll be a down. That looks like they'll miss on both there. So we'll wait to see if we get any guide or a little bit more details about this. GameStop reports quarterly loss of 1 cent, which beat the analyst consensus, my bad, of minus 8 cents. So 1 versus 8, still in the negative, getting better, closer to a profit, it looks like, on that number, but good job. But it looks like a sales decline. So we'll stay tuned for GameStop and see if we get a guide forward. I believe they should not guide forward, but we will wait to see that. GameStop right now hovering around. The reason why I say, like, guys, let's just relax about GameStop. Why isn't this? It's because that bottom is 14.50. Like, all we did was touch down there to 14.25. This was not the end of the world for GameStop. But let's wait to see where it goes. Again, short flow right now, 22. I would say this $12 is at risk right now, honestly. They should have, it should be reacting a little bit better. Here it goes back into the downside. I like to go long into here, 11 or 12, but again, watch out for that low, man. We haven't been here forever. GameStop low of $12. Let's see if it breaks it. Nothing out on C3 AI. Ooh. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe AI is out. Let me check the chat. Does anybody have this? There's Brendan Walsh. Shout out to Brendan. Shout out to Dan McIsaac. Dan, thank you so much for everything that you're doing to the show as well. You had some kind words today. CHWY is out right now. CHWY's Q3. Look at CHWY downside. Wow. CHWY was a name again, guys, that I was an investor in at the IPO. It did have its moment in the sun during COVID, as you can see all the way back up here. Made some, no, actually, that's not even COVID. How come when I zoomed that worked this way? Okay, we got to go the other way here for CHWY to see what's going on in COVID. But there it is, man, those COVID highs. There it is, 115, 120. And again, when everyone's locked at home and your pet needs dog food or cat food or fish food or hamster, what pet do you have, Ramin? It's probably something crazy. None right now. You know what a fox. You don't have a pet fox. Okay. The thing about it is we actually have in my household an axolotl. So that's pretty unique. And if you play Minecraft, you know what an axolotl is. No, not an armadillo. Axolotl lives in an aquarium. Okay, but anyways, we have an axolotl. Okay, CHWY. The idea behind CHWY is, of course, now Amazon has actually a decent, from what I've heard, a decent pet offering as well. My family gets, we go to PetSmart around here. They have a deal with DoorDash that delivers for free. So my wife kind of waits until the animals are like, hey man, where's our food? Then we'll order that coming through. Well, we don't starve them. What am I even talking about? But anyways, DoorDash, a lot of companies. So CHWY downside. I don't love the stock, but let's look at the numbers real quick. Here it is. It actually 15 cents of profit, beating 6 cents negative. Sales missed pretty good there. We'll see what happens on a guide, but right now CHWY looking like they're chewing up profits and getting back down to the downside now, $18. Their low on CHWY is $16.90, so yuck for that one. TLT, as we just talked about rates, look at TLT start to go back up. Wow, that would have been a nice little investment there at the beginning of the month. Nice move up there for CHWY, or for TLT, trying to break through. And again, I'm not looking at technicals too much for this, as this is the 20-year treasury. We can all look at treasury yields and see what they've been doing. The housing index, man, this has been a banger, man, a big winner. Again, as people get more positive about the direction of mortgage rates. They get a little more positive about possibly we do not get into a recession. And again, if people don't lose their jobs, they feel a little bit better about spending and feel a little bit better possibly about getting into that new home or figuring out what homes look like with current rates. IBB, I actually think it was it Chris? I'm going to talk to Chris about IBB. There were some biotech stocks. Oh no, I think it was Brian Shannon that was in Imugen and things like that. So, but anyways, the IBB, a nice little move to the upside as well. Chris and I go back and forth. Chris had some very nice words talking about my Pan W trade as of late, and that was a great call back in here in and around 2 bills, 230. Pan W near highs as well. Okay, what else is moving, man? Gold near highs. We've talked about that with Michael Noss the last couple of days about GLD and what he thought about gold. He thinks gold can go higher. I don't own gold. I'm going to stay away from that. I think gold potentially has seen a good move up, and I would probably fade those tops. But again, the big one for me is XLE. I don't... Look, I'm still in a little bit of this name. We did get out the last time it came into 90, which was really good. But again, look at some of these tops. I mean, who thought we'd have 2 wars right now? And a war, I guess I mean, they're wars, right? They're just not world wars. But I thought oil would potentially be going back up to the upside. But as we hear, and again, 2 sides of it, right? Housing upside, and I said maybe no recession. Generally, if we're heading into recession, oil would be going down because the world's manufacturing would come back in as well. Because if a recession hits, you then think that less production for cost or for goods, meaning that we're not spending that money as consumers. So generally, oil making a move down, and this is energy sector fund, that would indicate to me a possible washout and maybe there is going to be that recession coming through. Look at ExxonMobil. I mean, this name's really getting ring out as well. Breaks through $100 today. We're back to March lows in this name. I think, CVX. I do have a couple tweets that we're going to talk about after we get through Chris, and I'm going to call Chris up in just a couple seconds. But I think that company buybacks, we know XOM has a monstrous one, and I think the biggest one on the street is this guy right here, and that is Chevron. Let me zoom back out a little bit for a weekly chart, see if we can get a little bit of a better take on this. Wow, what a level 125 is, man. This goes all the way back to 2019, of course, and even back here into 18. We're now looking at a W. That's a weekly chart. So look at this key level, man. This goes back to March of 2022. I do that because I'm thinking about buying some oil down here, as if this world's not coming to an end. CVX looking pretty good, man. A nice little drop back in there for CVX. I still wait for C3 AI. The weekly chart's going to be foolish on this one. It shouldn't go back too far. There's the IPO. Remember, this is back when even AI wasn't even talked about, man. This is 2020. They came out at the right time, but then experienced a horrible decline back down into $12. Let's see what happens right now for that. So I'm not seeing anything. I do see ChargePoint just came out with earnings. So let's go over that. I guess we can go to next topic. Oops. Topic previous. We're almost there as we talk about some earnings. Let's go CHPT. I know this is a name that maybe some of you are holding as well. ChargePoint, watch out for the minute chart. Having to hit enter a couple times here today. I don't know what exactly is wrong. Do I have the wrong symbol? No, there it is, CHPT. Okay, so ChargePoint's out and not really doing anything either. So, wow, down to $2. And in the first name that I believe could declare bankruptcy maybe I'll talk to Chris about Fisker options, because Fisker is honestly, man, we talked about Starbucks. I feel bad. I own a lot of EV names. And again, another name that's probably 90% down in my portfolio. Look at Fisker, man, bleeding to the downside. I feel like there could be something up with this one, but Fisker continues to bleed down as ChargePoint takes that hit as well. So, all right, we don't have C3 AI, but are we ready for Chris, guys? All right, let's do it. It's Trader Talk. Mr. Chris Brecher, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Not too bad. You didn't get the memo about a plaid shirt or what?
Actually, I had to replace this shirt one other time I was on because I guess it messes up with the pixelation or something. So sorry about that.
Who told you that?
I don't remember whom.
Oh, I don't know if it was our team, because sometimes my wife, and again, you mentioned that sometimes your kids will watch, it'll be like, man, you shouldn't have wore that shirt, bro. And I was like, okay, and then I burned that shirt. So, okay, we talked a little bit about, I don't know about you, but like, if you see the way I dress, like I just kind of throw things on. But do you always trade at home, actually, or do you sometimes head into an office, or what's your day looking like these days?
Nope. I had our basement redone to make a whole office. So
And then it flooded,
I have
right?
the office in the house, and all the animals are going to be with me when the floors get replaced. So it should be like like um
Chaos.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Animal House over there. Oh, I love that movie. Again, shout out to Canada again, Jim Carrey, of course. All right. Without another one of your colleagues, Danielle Shea, she's been moving and she hasn't been on the program for a while. So conveniently, let's talk a little bit about options, if you don't mind. We sort of teased that a little bit, and I know we emailed back and forth a little bit about that. You want to talk about buying options close to strike prices, right? So why don't we go over that? I'll throw the floor to you. I may have to interrupt if we do get C3 AI earnings. So what do we want to talk about, and what do you got to show us here, Chris?
All right. Well, it's funny. I was going to show you about for next week, like the laggard ones, and we made money on the long side that way. But I thought I'd show you the last minute trade that seems like a lot of people made money with cheap options was in the last 10 minutes. You know how we talk about that last 10 minutes, but you have to see that kind of pattern set up. So a lot of people bought the 185 puts. They were like 23 cents right in here, betting on that path of least support. I'd
Oh,
like to say like water running to the basement, but that's a sore subject.
yeah.
But a lot of people bought those and did well on those.
So,
But that's one way. The
Chris,
other thing I wanted
can I
to show you
interrupt?
though was exactly what you mentioned about Fisker. So I have no idea what they're doing, but how many of these have we seen where they once they declare bankruptcy, the stock like goes to $4?
Right.
So instead of playing it, heck, you could go for next week and just buy the December 15 calls, December 1 calls for parity. So if it goes to zero, you lose 45 cents.
You know
But if
what?
it does that crazy thing, that's it. That's a great risk reward kind of way of playing options.
Well, I'm glad I brought it up then, because I actually don't mind that. They have not declared bankrupt or anything like that. It's just the way that it's going to the downside there. I just figure like something is imminent with Fisker. But you know what? I actually don't mind that. And that would be an example of buying something close to expiration. I wanted to know, was that a Brecher ledge that broke there? Like, why was 185 so important? Because I was short a lot of the market as well all day today. I didn't see that IWM trade that you just mentioned there, but I do like that break level there of 185. And if you don't mind, it was 23 cents. If you bought those puts for 23 cents, what are you looking for? I think we've talked before, sometimes 5 to 1 or 6 to 1, something like that.
Well,
Yeah, you tell me how that
it wasn't
executes.
as much. Well, one of the objectives, yeah, that's sort of a Brecher ledge. Thanks for mentioning that instead of a flat top flag, a flat bottom flag. But the minimum is that width of the prior move. So we were talking about 60 cents, but the 60 cents also would get it right to fill the gap.
Right.
So we were going for 23 cents to, let's say, 80 cents
Okay.
just for that gap fill. It overshot, but that's what we were going for. And there were a lot of other indexes that had those little flags all day.
Is
So
that
those were exciting, all those flags. And then the SPX has a huge flag that's forming. And let me show you, and the NDX. So there's the SPX, and I'm watching that, but the NDX is a lot more prominent. Check that out. So I know that's a lot of lines on there. That's
yeah,
like
that's too
me
confusing
waking
for
up
me,
after
Chris.
sleeping on a corduroy pillow. But let me show you what I'm talking about.
What was that reference? Sleeping on a corduroy pillow? What is
Yeah, that's why
where's
there were
that
a
from?
lot of lines. It's similar to
Oh, a
that.
lot of
So that's an
lines.
old joke. Old joke. Well, that's a dad joke.
Yeah, well, I've
So,
got
but
you got
that's what
lots of
I'm
that.
looking at right there. Is that bear flag right there? And if that doesn't hold, there's very little support till down here.
Chris, let's look. let's look live together. How about that? You want to look at some GME? Right now, GameStop, I'll give you a second to look at some GameStop for yourself here, but GameStop's starting to move a little bit. Is there, I mean, we could talk about options. I feel like a lot of traders are going to be trading options here on GameStop. For me, we are starting to move back up to the upside here on GME, of course, into earnings. And I mean, look, we're not a bunch of like, you know, uneducated traders around here. We do know that as you get closer and closer to earnings, the price you pay there, the premium is the word I'm looking for, that you'll pay on an option increases, right? But what about, in your experience, the day after, or maybe a couple days after? Would it be possibly wise to let a stock like GameStop settle down, and then therefore maybe the premiums will settle down, and then we can hop in? Because honestly, this is a zero move for GameStop. I feel like the applied move was about 8% if you go over to Options AI, and right now you're up 1.6%. So I guess those that just wrote these things and captured the premium are going to make bank right here. What do you think about GameStop and some of the movements that we're seeing right here?
Well, the way I'm looking at it is it's the consolidation the day after or the next day, because if it goes up like that and consolidates, then the slightly out of the money calls are just going to get destroyed, even though it looks like a bull flag or a bear flag, because the market makers on the floors don't care about the chart pattern. They just care about the theoretical value. So if we see this, let's say just tomorrow, do that.
Yep.
So the 17s will be nothing. They'll be like 5 cents. But the projected move of that flag might be $2. I mean, that's a fantastic risk reward of definitely the consolidation after the first move.
So we can't really check out GameStop premiums now, because obviously during the aftermarket they're going to have to update tomorrow. But I don't mind that 17 call. Was there anything that maybe you're looking forward to tomorrow, or did anything you sort of, and you don't have to tell us your positions or anything, but maybe an idea that maybe you're holding, looking for something to happen into tomorrow so that we can keep our eye on it before I let you go here, Chris?
Sure. Just to let you know, we were short a ton of things this morning, so my position was hiding under my desk, but it ended up working out pretty well. But basically what we're doing is we're looking for these stocks, as you see on the bottom left, that the theory is that a lot of these dogs that have relatively good patterns, like Sava, is if the whole market's implode, sure, this is going to go down with it. But if the market stabilizes, or let's say GME pulls everything up, you can buy slightly out of the money calls for next week that have a great bang for the buck, because look at this possible bull flag. I mean, that could be 4 points. So then you go over here and you look next week and you look, well, at the moment, they're a little expensive. But the 22 calls for next week, this settles down for a couple of days in this zone, and those will be like 20 cents. And those are amazing risk reward then. So that way you don't have to get too scared about buying something and then saying, I got to hedge with the Russell and do this and that. A lot of these cheapies work. And another thing is to look at things like this, even the $5 stocks. So we bought some of this and we still like it, because if you buy the 4 calls and it goes bankrupt, yeah, you'll lose. We bought them at 60 cents. But if this breaks up, you know, this could go to 5.5 to 6. So they're good risk reward. I wouldn't say the 5 calls, because the 5 calls are 20 cents. It has to go to 5.20 just to break even.
Right.
So it's the in the money ones I like. And the way we do it is you price it by the puts.
Okay.
So if the puts are only 5 cents, then you only have to pay 5 cents over the intrinsic.
Chris, if anybody has any questions about any of that, where can they find you?
Well, like I said, under my desk, if I'm dead wrong.
So what's your address?
Overall, in the chart patterns mastery room with simpler trading.
Okay.
And then on Fridays, I'm in the essentials room, which means that if you're a member of any of the parts of the site of Simpler, you can go and tune into the essentials room, and I'll be there, I think, at 12:30 Eastern.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Chris, and thank you for all that information. Again, another great opportunity to talk options. Good luck with the animals if they ever have to come up with you, and you know, try to stay above your desk. There's lots of good things happening around here, and we'll check you at Simpler Trading. Thank you so much, Chris Brecher, Trader Talk.
Hey.
Ciao. Have a great week. That's Chris. Thank you so much, Chris, once again coming through. Wow, how disappointing, honestly. I mean, how disappointing has GameStop been today? I mean, I saw Dan McIsaac and some of you there in the chat. I apologize, I can't be in the chat and do this show. It's me, Fabian, and Ramin right here as traders stay late, but me and Obi might be the only ones here right now. I said Ramin. Oh, she trades Pokemon cards. I just heard Fabian say right there. But no, I just thought GameStop's a little disappointing, man. It's hovering right where it closed. We thought with earnings there may be something going on. Did AI do anything? No, it did not. Up and down as well. So a little disappointing here today for some of these movers. I don't really see much happening as I check out. Here is the scanner from Trade Ideas. We have NOV moving around. I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. MLGO was a nice mover here today, down to 850 right now as we go. SPWH. Feel like there's a low float all the way back down, so that one's having a little bit of a problem, and I'm not really seeing anything else. So what this is a Trade Ideas. It's called a race. And what here? Oh, you can't really see it here. If I go like this, you can see a little bit better. So it'll just highlight stocks that are moving here based on time and sales. See, here it comes, and then there it goes. So now that just reset. They're 2-minute races, so we don't miss anything, and I'm not seeing anything right now. So make sure that you do join me every single day. Okay, Sean's tweets. We only have 2 minutes left. Let's do that real quick right now. So I like Twitter. Do you? All right. So right here, we just talked about that. What's up to Gunjan, man? I was trying to get her on today. She said she's busy with the GME earnings, but that's why I wanted her on. So hopefully we can get that going on. Shout out to Gunjan. But look at this. Corporate buybacks. Remember I was talking about Chevron, and we've been talking about Apple has a big one. Google initiated a big one as well back on. They're at their largest right now. Inflows versus outflows are at a historical high right now, reaching all the way up here. So companies are buying back shares, okay? So they're thinking that they don't have any new, they're not doing M&A, they're putting money back into their own company, which could be a reason why we've had a lot of these corporations back up to the upside, especially some of the banks as well. Hasn't worked for the energy names, but I did want to bring that to everybody's attention. Corporate buybacks at highs right now. So we'll go back over. That was that post I thought was pretty interesting. We talked about this on the big show as well. This is Kathy versus Warren versus the NASDAQ. Right now you could see 5 years ago, Warren Buffett up 74% if you just follow Berkshire. If you followed Aunt Kathy, you were up 40%, 400% at one point. Now you're back down up a nice $150. That is next to nothing. The S&P 500, or sorry, the NASDAQ, however, not charted on here, I have no idea why, is up 139%. So that's a big move, man. The NASDAQ would be into here, into the 2000 area, right? So NASDAQ would be beating, and again, I talked about this with Michael Noss, and I quite frankly disagree with him. Passive, it was different. We're talking about swing trading versus investing for a long term, but if you just bought the Qs, you'd be up that 140%. Now again, passive means, you know, you're sort of just putting money in, you're not really analyzing the market, maybe dollar cost averaging. I still think that wins. I spent over 20 minutes last night with Obi and Mateo talking about, I said, you guys have the biggest advantage of all of us. Know what that big advantage is? I'm going to see if anybody knows it in the chat right now. I can't give you the example exactly, but the biggest advantage right now, what do you think that is? Okay, the next tweet that I want to talk about quickly is this one. And this is not because we have Palantir in our long-term account. I have a lot of stocks in the long-term account, okay? But look at Palantir as it keeps getting hit down. I just wonder why. This is their growth here. It keeps on growing. Their FY23 even higher right now. And it just keeps on going. It's known for its high demand for AI. Right now they have Foundry is what it's called. They're bringing on more contracts, more consumers. They don't, that's the problem. They don't have anything for us, the end consumer. But if they can bring on some more businesses, I like Palantir. And I just want people to look at that as you're wondering about Palantir. Look at this trade on Affirm, baby. Firm was a fantastic trade today, making that move back in. We had a couple good trades today. We are now over with. So that's Sean's tweets. Go find me at TraderTV, Sean. It's been a great day, but we have to do one thing. Oh my God, is that train running me over right now? I feel like I like that one. That's a good one. I do like the alert as well. I do have to shout out some super chats because without everybody being here, we would not. I don't have, today is Wednesday, so tomorrow I'll have a Thursday night play for you. What's up, Mr. Westermeyer, Hayden, Nathan, Jay's Passion, Ian Respeto, Matthew, Horton, and a new member, Dragon, man, or Dragon. Right there. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Everybody part of Super Chat. Wow, there's SPWH. Let's check out GME before we go real quick to see if there's anything happening there. There isn't. AI doing anything? No. But the one thing that we have to do that we cannot forget is roll call. Let's go, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're going to have a new little gift that comes up for the after show. I saw that another. Thank you so much, Andrew Chow. He says another one. You are right, man. Another great show. Thank you to Chris Brecher, and thank you to everybody out there that's here with me now. So let's do that right now. Hey, it's Professor Jordan Love. He's here as well. What's up? They say not Jordan. You're going to get that shout out to the C3 AI. I don't see it out yet. I mean, I'll double check before I leave. What's up to Roger? Dan McIsaac is here. What's up to the Piper? Thanks for your patience. Thanks for joining, man. That's what I want to know. Charlie's here. Rohan is here. Thank you so much. Dinesh is here. Elisa's here. Ben Zaya's here. What's up, my guy? What's up, Ryan? I know you're a good friend as well. What's up, Paul? Bristol's here. Jimbo Slice, good name. We already talked about that. Bob Curran, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, but welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining. Professor Love is here again. We already talked about that. Dinesh is here. Mark Johnson. Henry's here. The MVE is here as well. Elsa, everybody. What's up, Paulie D? Shouts out to you guys as well. Look, thank you so much for watching. It was a pretty interesting day. We had some good trades on. I could review all my trades, but then I'd be here forever. Join me on the podcast. One more day of this, and me and Brendo are going to go off the cuff, and we're going to have the best podcast to date. That's going to be Friday. We're going to release it on Saturday. We're here, man. I feel like I'm built for podcasts and maybe built for this as well. Holy biscuits, look at Nicola. All right, because you mentioned it, I'm addicted to everything. Not trading, not everything. Wow, Nicola, what just happened to Nicola? Nicola falling out of bed. Thank you so much for that one. Oh, here it is right here. Uh-oh. I said the thing to go bankrupt would be Fisker. Nicola, offering 200 milli. You hear it here first. Thank you so much for that. There it is right there. Oh, 100 million of common stock, 200 million of convertibles. Nah, ain't nobody converting that. Look at that. Nice move to the downside, 87 cents. There we go. I do not see anything on AI, but let me just type it in here because someone asked, is C3 AI out? So let's go. No. So C3 AI out, not out yet, according to Benzinga Pro. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sean Coutinho. You're now rocking with the best traders. Stay late. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao, everybody.